Good morning, I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is currently 20 to 11 on the 11th of December and my sleep schedule is officially messed up, and I've been saying this a few days now. I am completely ill, full on got a cold, so I was up throughout the night and it sucks, I hate it. So I'm gonna have to, edit between all the sneezing. Unfortunately, I know it's gross, but yeah. And the coffee is probably going to take a hit because I can't full on taste, which is kind of annoying, but I'm still going to go for it and try my best to let you guys understand what I'm tasting. So last night I had a meal with my flat. It was our Christmas meal because it was our last full weekend together as a flat. So we made a bunch of like roast potatoes, cooked chicken, bunch of roast veg, not dumplings, stuffing, just like all sorts of food, Yorkshire puddings, pigs in blankets, just a buffet of food. Ate so much and it was absolutely incredible. So that was really nice. We like spent probably like 3 hours cooking and listening to like Christmas music and stuff, and then we spent just like an hour just like eating and chatting and stuff. So it was a bunch of like really good people, really good food, a really great night, and it was just really nice. So that's really put me into the Christmas mood, and I've put on my red jumper today because I'm in that kind of mood. I break it out every now and again. I think I've worn it maybe 3 times, and it's basically the most Christmassy thing I own solely because it's red. So I think I've been wearing red ties and stuff, but my red jumper is definitely the brightest thing I own. So I don't really wear it throughout the year. It's only in December because you kind of have an excuse. I'm basically like, it's Christmas. But yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the coffee part of the video. But I know that's the bit that everyone comes here for. So I've got my Christmas box. I was thinking this morning, I upgraded massively from last year. Last year when I was in Halls, my Christmas advent calendar was a £1 frozen advent calendar, just normal chocolate. This year I got this. Last year I did want the packed Christmas advent calendar, and I think it might have actually been a lot cooler than it was last year. Last year's might have been a lot cooler than it is this year. Got like a full-on book and stuff, but nevertheless, it's still really cool. Like, I'm not gonna complain. Found it already. So, unfortunately, my friend who also has the advent calendar has already spoiled today's coffee for me. So it's not going to be a surprise. I mean, I had the surprise earlier, but it's not going to be a surprise when I actually read it. So we've got the focus. There we go. There's the picture. So nice. It's like a reveal of a coffee. I like it. Right. So we've got the Silencio Coffee. So there it is. And hints of rhubarb, which are going to be really cool because you hardly get rhubarb in coffee actually, and it's probably one of my favourite flavours there is in total. Like, I love rhubarb. So it's grown by Oscar Ortiz Gonzalez. Origin is Norte de Santander in Colombia. Varietal is Castillo and Colombia. So it's a Colombian, and we've had 2 Colombians I think at this point, and obviously I've had quite a few before then, so it'll be interesting to see how this compares. Rhubarb, I'm expecting it to be a medium roast, I'd probably say. So we'll test that when we actually smell the coffee, if I can smell it at all. It says, anyway, the perfect score. Head farmer Oscar Ortiz Gonzalez inherited the Silencio farm from his father, and since then the farm has grown in size and quality. After buying out his siblings' shares in the farm, ouch, Gonzalez worked to make the plants more resistant to disease and harsh weather conditions to build an infrastructure that is required for any successful coffee farm. That took a bit of getting through. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm expecting more of a medium coffee, more of a, I'd probably say it's probably going to be on the lighter mouthfeel side. Probably not completely watery, but just a smooth, like normal, light mouthfeel is what I'm expecting. So let's give the packet an open and smell it. Oh, I'm really struggling here. From what I can tell, it tastes more light, but that rhubarb's definitely coming through. I can definitely taste the rhubarb. Not taste, smell. Yeah, rhubarb's definitely really strong. It definitely smells a bit lighter than I was expecting, I think. So I'll make it and then I will confirm. Just guess via the crema. See you in a second. Okay, I'm back and with the coffee. And the crema was a lot darker than I was expecting, definitely. So I would go so far as to say I was wrong on even the medium. It was definitely like a dark coffee. Just goes to show how wrong you can actually be sometimes, doesn't it? I can't always be perfect. Scent-wise, it's definitely that darkness. I'm still getting a hint of that rhubarb. Maybe a little, like, stone fruit. I don't know quite what. Maybe, like, plum, I think, maybe. Maybe we're getting a bit of plum there. So, interesting that it's going to be plum as well as rhubarb. I've never had a combination of the two. I don't know how well they pair. So, who knows? Maybe it just disappears in the coffee. So, let's just try it. Oh, that's definitely a lot darker than I was expecting, like, when I first read about it. Definitely tastes really dark. Don't tend to be a huge fan of dark coffees. There's definitely that rhubarb at the forefront, definitely, I can taste that. And there is a hint of, like, plum at the background. Body-wise, it's definitely like a juicy body, so it's a bit thicker than I was initially expecting. Acidity, definitely got like a citrus acidity, like maybe an orange, a good orange there. Overall, I wouldn't say it's the best, but I'm just not a fan of dark coffees. It's strange because there's a bit of everything in there. There's a bit of peach, there's a bit of plum, and then there's the unusual rhubarb, which you never really get. I've never had a coffee with notes of rhubarb in, so that's definitely different than everything I've had before it. There's like orange in there, there's currants, there's literally, it's basically like they've thrown everything into this coffee, and really it doesn't match well. It's got like a strange balance to it, which kind of is just off-putting slightly. It's just like the flavour pairings don't really go together, which you can't always help. You can't always have a perfect coffee where all the notes are perfectly balanced. But it's just unfortunate. If we compare it to the other Colombians that we've had, so the first Colombian we had was on day 2, and it was the Villa Rubiela. So you can go back and look at that for the full analysis. But I ended up giving that 4 stars, full of caramel and chocolate notes, dark nose, so it's a dark roast again, dark chocolate, caramel, followed by a nice vanilla undertone, is how I described it, basically. So that got 4 stars. The second Colombian we had was the Ajoaco Segrom, however you say that, and I ended up giving that 3.5 stars. That I described as smoky dried fruit, raisin nose, apricot and raisin, very strong, hint of milk chocolate, medium body. So that dried fruit and the smokiness probably comes through this coffee as well. So it just goes to show, even though it's the same origin, can really make a difference. But back to today's coffee, I am not sure. I'm really just confused by it. Like, some sips I get the rhubarb, then some I get the peach and the plum, some I get like dark currants. I'm really not sure about it. It's so oddly balanced, and I think because of that inconsistency, it's off-putting. So I think it's probably gonna mark quite low down on the star rating. To be honest, it's gonna be rated quite low. I don't think as low as some of the others we've had. I don't think it's a bad coffee in general. I think at some points, I think it is a nice coffee. It's just oddly balanced, and that's just quite off-putting. I'll probably give it 2.5 stars, I think. I think I'll just give it that medium rating. So time to drink my coffee, edit this video as fast as I can possibly do it, and I'm going to have an afternoon just jam-packed of just Japanese study, because I've got mocks coming up. Great. So I will see you tomorrow for day 12, and P.S. Call me Cameron.